Good morning. Welcome to Bay Area Unitarian Universalist Church on this bright and beautiful Sunday. It's still a little warm, but it's so pretty. I'm Katie McQuate-Loukas. My pronouns are she and hers. This morning we're doing things a little bit differently. All across the country this morning, congregations are joining together for a time of renewal and recommitment at the intersection of the climate crisis and the deep justice commitments of our individual congregations. Together, we can move past systems and cultures of extraction to usher in a new era of love and justice. We protect what we love. So during this morning's worship, we will be thinking about our love of this earth, of air, fire, water, and we will be tapping into our love of people, our love of our neighbors, especially those most impacted by climate disruption. So let us begin with breath, air, and I invite you to notice your breathing, however easy or labored it might be, and breathe in again. And let us give thanks for those gathered with us this morning. Let us give thanks for air, always present, supporting all life. Whoever you are, whomever you love, however you came to this place this morning, in body, in mind, in spirit, whether you're joining us in person, whether you're joining us online, wherever you are in your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. If it's your first time, you are welcome here, and we are glad that you are here. And if it is your 500th time, you are welcome here. And we are glad that you are here. So take one more deep breath together. Give thanks for this day and for this opportunity to be together. And come, let us worship together.
Throughout religious history, revivals have marked periods of resurgence in people's commitment to their faith traditions. Classic American tent revivals took people out of the four walls of the church and into the world. They brought the community together and served as a galvanizing force for the future, opening often during times of great change or anxiety. Pardon me. In the midst of overlapping climate crises and mounting social injustice, we are in a time of great change and profound anxiety. Taking a note from those who have gone before us, the UUA Climate Justice Revival is meant to be a time to come together and recommit. So as we come into worship, we light the chalice with the words of Reverend Megan Foley, Deputy Director for Congregational Life at our Unitarian Universalist Association. Millie and her mom, Hillary, will come forward and light our chalice. When Unitarian Universalists light our chalice, we are doing more than moving a bit of flame from one little stick to our favorite candle. When Unitarian Universalists light our chalice, we are showing what happens when we harness the power of fire. Fire is one of our world's most sacred elements, perhaps because it is always causes change. Fire warms and feeds. Fire destroys and eliminates. With a bit of attention and care, fire works with us to reveal, to show, literally to illuminate. Fire helps us to see and to survive. And so, fire is an especially sacred symbol today at our Climate Justice Revival. Because we are in need of change, we are in need of warmth and sustenance, and we need to clear a bright new path for ourselves and our world. May this cup of captured fire be a symbol today of our passion, our care, our brilliance in the face of great need. Like fire, we are powerful. Like fire, we create change. May it be so. Please stand in body or spirit for our opening song, number 21, For the Beauty of the Earth. We affirm that love is our greatest purpose. Accepting one another is the truest form of faithful living. The search for truth is our constant star. We pledge our hearts, minds, and hands to challenge injustice with courage, to find hope in times of fear, and to live out our Unitarian Universalist values every day as a beloved community. Please join me in saying our covenant. Love is the doctrine of this church. Quest of truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship. Thus do we covenant with one another.
Our unison reading this morning is number 554 by Thich Nhat Hanh. So again, number 554, please join with me. Water flows from high in the mountains. Water runs deep in the earth. Miraculously, water comes to us and sustains all life. Water and sun green these plants. When the rain of compassion falls, even a desert becomes an immense green ocean.
Hi, my name's Brad James. Didn't make it into the program. And my pronouns are he, him, and dude, I guess. And that's simple. That's what you expect, right? The song that we're going to do here is called Simple. It's a Katie Lang song, if you know her. And it says no less than 5 times, I think, that love is simple. And when I first heard that, I misunderstood. I thought, well, you haven't been married for 43 years, and see that sometimes it's not simple. But that's not what she's saying here. What she's speaking to is those people who've been told that they're not worthy, that their love maybe isn't worthy, and haven't we all sometimes felt unworthy of love? And her message to us, to those people, is that love will not elude us. Love is simple, and all in love is ours, and that's simple. Can you hear that okay? Flawless light in a darkening air, alone and shining there. Love will not elude you, love is simple. I worship this tenacity in this beautiful struggle we're in. Love will not elude us, love is simple. Be sure to know that all in love is ours, is ours. That love as a philosophy is simple. I am calm in oblivion, calm as I ever have been. Love will not elude me, love is simple. Be sure to know that all in love is ours, is ours, that all in love is ours. That love as a philosophy is simple and ours.
Hello, I'm Christina Hicks. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm going to be reading the story for the Time for All Ages today. You've seen me do this before. You know we're going to have story time, so I'm going to hold it up because I'm a children's librarian. Our book today is To Change a Planet by Christina Soontorn-Vatt, illustrated by Rahel Jompour Bell. To change a planet. Our planet, big, tough, dependable. Our planet has spun through eons of time. Mere moments ago, we arrived. One person, small, quiet, insignificant. But when one person and one person and one person become many, they can change a planet. One molecule of carbon dioxide, small, quiet, insignificant. But when many cars, many factories, and many cities let loose millions and billions and trillions, they trap and stifle like a too warm blanket. One notch higher on the thermometer, small, quiet, insignificant. But one notch higher can change. Our seas, our seasons, life, us. One person seems small, quiet, and insignificant. But when one person and one person and one person become many, they can change a planet. Our planet seems tough, but it is fragile. Our planet seems big, but it needs us. Our planet has spun through eons of time, but this moment is the one that matters most. For our planet, our only home,
We come and we gather week after week, and we bring all of the cares and the stresses and anxieties, but also the hopes and the dreams of our daily lives with us. And we bring them here into this place, and we hold them on Sunday morning. This is the moment in our service where I invite you to bring all those things forward so that we can all bear witness to them together. And I'm going to light our first candle today for Appalachia, for North Carolina, for Tennessee, for all those places that we have seen on the news in the past 48 hours or so, suffering dreadfully from the storm. And even as we hold them in our hearts, we also hold our personal concerns. So I invite you forward as you are moved to come light a candle. And we'd light one final candle for everyone who's not with us this morning, for friends and family far away, for folks who are traveling, for folks watching online. Those prayers, too, are in our hearts. Ready for our two-part? We've got a two-person prayers of the people and planet that we're doing. All right. So there is a phrase that we will all say together. Let us reimagine a new era together. And we are going to take turns offering brief prayers, and then you will join in. So fear stifles imagination. It limits our capacity for relationships that embrace our beautiful and abundant humanity. Fear creates cynical cycles of supremacy and extractive relationships with each other and with our planet. Reimagining together is how we overcome fear. Reimagining together is how we build new relationships and a new era, putting love at the center. Today, especially, we put love at the center of our work for climate justice. So please join in the prayers of people and planet. Our congregational response is, let us reimagine a new era together.
Beginning right here in our congregation, we pray for ourselves, that we open our hearts to be companions, caring for a hurting world, and committing to create a world of flourishing. Let us reimagine a new era together.
With reverence for the great web of life, and with humility, we acknowledge our place in it. We commit to protect Earth and all beings from exploitation. So we pray for land, ecosystems, all species, the entire natural world. Let us reimagine a new era together.
We pray for justice for local frontline communities who are impacted first, worst and longest by climate change, and who face systemic oppression. Let us reimagine a new era together.
In our reimagining, we gain the capacity to recommit to communities of mutual support, which are the building blocks of an ecosystem of mutual survival. Let us reimagine a new era together.
We look towards each other, people of faith, good conscience, and spirit, leaning on one another and trusting in the hope we can create together. Let us reimagine a new era together.
We make right the wrongs of the past, not by ignoring them, but by doing the difficult work of dismantling the oppressive systems and behaviors that feed our illusion of separation. May we live in a way that honors our interdependence and acts in accordance with our interconnection with all people and the planet. Let us reimagine a new era together.
As we begin in local, committed communities of support, we find the strength and courage to widen our circles of concern, resisting hierarchies of value and ideologies of scarcity. Let us reimagine a new era together.
In our widening and deepening connections, we discover relations in the salt-kissed islands of Kiribati, the solid and frozen ground of Newtok, Alaska, and the life-giving valley of the Rio Guapinol. Let us reimagine a new era together.
With humility and commitment, we acknowledge our own part in so much harm to our relations: saltwater encroachment, dying permafrost, and the poison refuse of illegal mining. Let us reimagine a new era together.
May we set down fear. May our courage to face the intersecting systems of harm lead to the strength to create intersecting practices of love and healing so that all may flourish. Let us reimagine a new era together. Reimagining together, we build new relationships. We put love at the center of climate justice work, and we commit. Amen, and may it be so. Please remain seated for our prayer in song. It is number 123, Spirit of Life.
Our reading today is A Charge from the Earth by Irene Glass and Reverend Rebecca Savage. There is a song beneath the soil. 10 million voices raise their call in no human language. Life flows through the tangle of roots, mycelium, microbiota, and crawling, burrowing, tunneling life. The song flows upward through trunks and stems and blades of tender grasses and races out into the air. It is picked up and carried on no human tongues. It is in the footfall of paw and hoof. It hums in the buzz of wings and the fluttering of feathers. It shines on scales and fins and slithering skins. And if we are quiet and pay attention, sometimes we remember that we are part of this song as well, and we have notes to sing. The Anthropocene is an experiment. What happens when we humans forget that the life around us is part of us, that these lives have no less inherent worth and dignity? How many more singers of the Earth Song will go silent forever? Today, we are charged to remember, to know as we live together in community, we are also in community with the silently singing lives in the vast congregation of the earth as well. The interdependent web of existence is no allegory. It is as real as the heart beating within our chests. We are charged to do what we can to help those who cannot advocate with human language, who cannot scream for help when they are suffering. We have a role to play in softening the blow of the age of humans. We have a voice that can help to shape the world to come. We are so charged in the name of the sacred song, the tapestry of life of which we are a part. Let us remember and then act.
Friends, this is a week to be engaged in climate work. This weekend was planned as a nationwide revival, a moment to renew our spirits and to pledge ourselves anew to the work of climate justice. But there are congregations right now east of us who are unable to do that and who are not in their sanctuaries this morning, and that is a hard thing. Unitarian Universalism is asking us in this moment to stretch, to go beyond, and to lift up our spirits for new stages of work. Unitarian Universalism is asking us if we center our work of transformation around love, if we ground it in love, how does that change how we are guided? What would it look like to not simply focus on the technical fixes that we can do tomorrow, but to look past those, to look towards the dream of a different way of living? In the aftermath of Beryl, I was definitely in a place of gratitude, grateful that it was not worse, because here in this place we do know what worse looks like. And now we have seen worse plow into Florida, inundate the mountains, flood the valleys, and wipe away entire towns. And because of the era we live in, which fortunately has good warning systems and NOAA, people were mostly okay. People mostly got out, those who could get out. But even those who were able to get out lost homes, lost workplaces, lost roads. In some places, entire towns are gone. Earlier this week, Rachel Mislevy and Reverend Ranwa Hamami sent out this message. We know that as Helene makes landfall in Florida and continues through the South, the most impacted among us will be the ones who have been the least supported by our broader communities and institutions. People whose identities and experiences leave them with little or no option to seek safety from the storm, who are at risk of losing livelihoods and even lives because the supports for their survival in moments of climate disaster do not exist. And we know this will happen because it has happened before, especially to our kin in the South. They continue saying, as you gather this weekend, we invite you to hold those who are in the path of Helene in your hearts and minds. As you reimagine together, we encourage you to explore how our work to create a world with genuine safety from climate disasters will require more than mitigation, but real systemic, cultural, and spiritual change. Hold our siblings in Helene's path and the communities most impacted by climate disasters in your location at the center of why we must recommit ourselves to this work. Imagine what a flourishing world could look like for them first. What would it look like for people who have been denied humanity and dignity to finally have the supports that are needed to thrive? And then expand that sense of care and generosity to those who have historically been given the resources to do more than survive. Centering the people who have never been centered and building towards that world in your revivals will bring us to a place we have never fully reimagined together yet. I do offer us some joy today. Those of you who were here for last week's meeting know that we were recognized as a Green Sanctuary for 2024, renewing the original certification in a new phase. And so let's have a round of applause for this work predates me, so I'm gonna name some names because it was happening before I got here. So Peter and Luciano, Sonia Hernandez. I'd also like to recognize some folks who have moved, Carol and Allison and Rita, and of course, the late Laura Dean. Those are the folks who put together the plan and they got it done. And note that I didn't quite say that we were fully recertified because that's not how it works anymore. We were recognized for 2024 because Green Sanctuary work is now understood to it's not a one and done. This is ongoing, this is every year, it's a way of life. And so one of the things I'm asking for today is those immediate technical fixes. We need some folks to join up to get a new Green Sanctuary vision started. As we work on the one that we've got, we need to start planning the next one because we're always going to be asking what's next. And possibly the more important thing that I'm asking all of us to do together, whether you sign up for Green Sanctuary now or in 2050 or whenever, is to imagine the big picture future. To focus on our own carbon footprint as individuals and as a community, to focus on our building, to focus on our neighbors. This is vital and necessary work. But in that work, it's very easy to get caught up in what feels like Sisyphus rolling the rock up the hill, and to not see the big picture, and to not recognize the larger trajectories over time. It's easy for us to get caught up in fear and scarcity, and it's probably too easy to get caught up in guilt and shame for the things we have not yet managed to accomplish. To recenter ourselves and to ground our work in love means setting all of that aside for a moment. It means that instead of asking what is possible right now, with the limited resources right in front of me, it asks, what is the dream? What is the vision? What is the future vision in which all people not only survive but flourish? This problem is huge, and so is the question. But in some ways, that big picture question may actually give us something tangible to hold on to. When the problem seems too large, it's an opportunity to center the question on the most vulnerable, and instead of making decisions, ask questions. To ask, what do you need right now? Clean air and water? Resources in the face of storms? More green space? A breath of cool air? When we are overwhelmed by the enormity of the task, pausing to ask questions, pausing to listen, getting out of our own heads, and getting into our hearts and into relationship with others gives us the direction we need. So what is the future vision in which all people not only survive but flourish? Asking this question reminds us that climate is not just my own footprint, though of course it is that too. Asking the question reminds us that climate justice is food, and it's food security. It's having to work outdoors in the heat, it's baking in a Texas prison, and it's a storm slamming into some other part of the Gulf Coast, at least when we are lucky enough that it's not slamming into our part of the Gulf Coast. What is a future vision in which people not only survive but flourish? That's a question that can keep us joyfully moving when we might otherwise be weary and stop. It is the question that gives us a dream and not just a task list. The work we do needs to be sustaining to our spirits, a source of nourishment in itself, and it's the only way we're going to find joy in the struggle itself. When we love the earth, truly feeling love in our hearts, we are drawn to care for her. When we love our neighbors, we are drawn to care for them, and when we love our imagined descendants, we are drawn to create a better world and a better future. It is love that connects us across geography and across time. It is love that sustains weary hearts and spirits, and it is love that can open us to joy and imagination. We must do what we can now to mitigate harm. We must reduce waste and recycle and learn to walk more softly on this earth of ours. But another side of the question is, what can we build? What can we imagine? What can we enjoy and take pleasure in as we dance across this earth of ours? This is a revival, so we are going to have some kind of an altar call, a little bit, it's a you altar call. And so I'm asking, what can you do right now to reduce and conserve and preserve? But also, what can you do right now to grow, to bring beauty and joy, and to bring hope? What work are you called to do with your own hands, with your resources, and with your spirit and heart? What dreams are you called to dream so that when we collectively, this group says, what's next, we're collectively ready to answer? We're recertified for 2024, and we have that vision to execute. But that means it's also time to ask, what's next? What is our next vision going to be? Rituals connect us. They create a sense of community. They help us promote the values we share. This is the ritual for action that youth across the country are doing, and it is intended to embody the things we talk about, think about, and sing about. We're going to use water as our symbol of renewal to bless our hands, to bless them for the work of climate justice. And so I have a bowl of water up here, and I'm going to pull out the water from our water communion to add to it, to add the blessing of this whole community, even folks who are not here today. And if you are ready for action, come forward and we will bless our hands together. Will you grab my cheat sheet? And I will say that commissioning out loud one more time to reaffirm. Friends, we are commissioned to act for climate justice. Our hands have been blessed with water. May our hands do the work that must be done, care for those who need the touch of kindness, and create flourishing everywhere. Amen, and may it be so. Climate justice is not just abstract. It starts close to home. It impacts people, including all of us and our neighbors. And so there's not a contest between climate work and our other commitments to a more just society. In fact, those commitments ultimately are one in the same. We've chosen to share our plate this morning with Higher Up Texas, one of our regular partners in justice work, and I'd like to invite forward Yura Flores to talk to us about it.
Good morning. To Reverend Lucas and Ms. Card. To everyone assembled, thank you so much for welcoming me and having us here. My name is Ms. Flores, and I am the Career Development Specialist for Higher Up Texas. We are a nonprofit organization that works in 3 high schools, Texas City, Lamarck, and Dickinson High Schools with high school seniors in phase 1. And we educate young people to help them to adult. We are teaching those life skills by bringing in experts from the community, people like you, to come in and share your knowledge with them on financial literacy, on professionalism, on building a professional resume, and et cetera. So we have 2 phases. Phase 1 is in our high school with high school seniors, and then once they graduate, they choose whether or not to transition into phase 2, and that's the area that I work in. Phase 2, once you graduate, you think about, okay, now what do I do? Now where do I go? How do I do it? Just think back for a moment. At 18, what did you do? I'll just speak for myself. Back in the day, when I graduated, you were expected to get out of the house, go to work, get married, have your family, and live and be successful. Things are different. Things are different. And many of our individuals, they don't come from homes where their families are educated or know how to help them or do not pour into them what is necessary to be successful and the action steps to go about it. And that's what we do. We teach our kids how to do the research. We provide individualized assistance for them because we're all different. Everything is different, and so my needs are not the same as your needs. How are you going to go about getting your first job? How are you going to go about saving for that car that you need or for that apartment that you need? Where do you start? That's where we come in phase 2. We're going to sit down and say, come on, let's talk about what do you expect them to do? Let's write out an action plan. Let's do some research. Let's say that we secure a job interview. Come in, sit down, and let's practice some interviewing skills. What is it that you need to do? How do you need to dress? How do you go in and approach an individual? That's what we do. We educate, we equip, and we empower our young people to go out into the world and be successful. And please give me this moment of privilege to say thank you to your congregation for supporting us, for participating with us in our endeavors, and just lifting up our young people during tough times. We appreciate that opportunity. So in my closing, I thank you, and I do have a quick infomercial to share with you, Reverend, if I may. Mrs. Hernandez is holding a Barbie. This is a signature series 2023. Available is one Barbie and a Ken Dia de los Muertos doll, and They are available for chance. You are to guess the number of beans in a jar for the Barbie of your choice. Here is the male Barbie. This is Ken. These Barbies are valued between $75 and $150, and they were donated by a member of your church. Each chance is $3 per chance, or 2 chances for $5. They will be in display in the Cockrell Hall until October 27th, which is your Dia de los Muertos celebration. You do not have to be present to win. The proceeds will benefit the Higher Up Texas young adults so that they can attend your event. Please make sure to mark your calendar for the event, October 27th, starting at noon. Come on out, and there will be fun, food, activities, and poncho claws. So be sure to gather up your family, gather up your boys and girls, your nieces and nephews, your children, and come on out. The event is $15 at the door per person, ages 12 years and above, and it's free for under 12. Come out and have a great time. Thank you so much for including us, and blessings.
So when we share the plate, we are indeed sharing it. Half of our plate on a Share the Plate morning goes to our partner. Last night, it came to me as I was pondering the enormity of the disaster in Appalachia that instead of keeping the other half, I would like that half to go to the Unitarian Universalist Disaster Relief Fund. It's not one of our larger funds. We've got international funds that send larger amounts of money out, to Ukraine and Gaza and other places. This is the fund that a congregation can draw upon at need. The congregations can reach out to the UUA for financial support in times of disaster, and that's where we are right now. Fire, floods, you name it, that fund exists to help a congregation rebuild. And so I don't yet know which of our congregations will be in need, but I know that someone out there needs support right now. And I know that one day it might be us. So this morning, half the offering will be given to Higher Up Texas because the justice work they do is connected to our vision of a transformed world. And half will go to our comrades so that they can get through their own struggles and come join us in the wider struggle again that much faster. Please give as generously as you are able.
Now, please remain seated and join in singing our song of gratitude, From You I Receive. I think 3 times? One time. One time. Oh, I forgot. This gift from the abundance of my life blesses me, our ministries, and the word. Now we can sing. It's now time to share some of the ways that you can be a part of the community and help us to change lives and heal our world. I would like to invite Darcy to come forward first.
Well, can't see you. Good morning, my friends. My name is Darcy, and I am Bach's new Family Promise Coordinator. In the weekly briefs this week and next week, a description of what we do and how we support the families in the program. A slide should be behind me with more information. We currently have 4 moms and 7 children enrolled. We support them by providing 3 nights of family-style dinner meals for these families. If you want to put this on your calendar, the dates are Monday, October 7th, Thursday, the 10th, and Friday, the 11th. Jennifer Calloway, where are you? Jennifer, has kindly stepped up to coordinate Thursday, the 10th. She needs a couple of volunteers for a dessert and side dishes and cleanup. Monday and Friday, I need food coordinators, just 2 of you. Hopefully 2 volunteers for each of the same day. I just accepted this position last Sunday, and I'm leaving on vacation the 4th, so I desperately need your help. Time is very short. No time to call or email vetted volunteers. I'll be back on October 11th. These families have seafood and kiwi allergies, and everything else is acceptable. Doesn't have to be fancy, just proteins, veggies, and fruit. Lemonade, and we want the small bottles of water, the little small containers. A case would be nice. Lemonade and iced tea. I apologize for getting your attention today. Arrangements must be locked in by Wednesday of this coming week for everyone helping. Thank you again, Jennifer, for stepping up. If you need to contact her, she has her number, or she's sitting right over there. Get with me after the service. I have a clipboard. Everyone knows about clipboards. Again, I need 2 food coordinators and volunteers for Monday the 7th and Friday the 11th. Doesn't take that much time, and meals can be prepared in your own home. Please sign up. Please do. You won't have another chance. Or call me. Thank you.
Thank you, Darcy. We already heard about the upcoming contest to win those beautiful Dia de los Muertos dolls, so I won't read this again. The bins for shredding confidential documents are here and will be here through October 10th. You can find the bin in the parlor starting at 8:30 a.m. Feel free to drop by any time between 8 and 2 and just drop your documents in the locked bin. No heavy binder clips, but paper clips are okay. On Wednesday, you can drop them off until 8 p.m. or whenever choir practice ends. Donations to help pay for the bins are appreciated but not required. On Tuesday, October 1st at 8 p.m., we'll be hosting a vice presidential debate watch party right here in the sanctuary. We'll start at 7 p.m. with the pre-debate show, If you're sick of shouting at the TV alone, spice up your debate night and join us. We'll have plenty of popcorn, but if you throw it at the screen, you'll be responsible for picking it up. We hope to see you Tuesday. And this Saturday, October 5th, get ready to party like it's 1693 with a night of magic and mischief as we watch the beloved classic Hocus Pocus. Bring pillows and blankets and let's get comfy in Cockrell Hall. This spooktacular evening is for everyone. You bring the snacks and we'll provide the drinks. You can find all the details in the order of service insert and this week's email blast. After today's service, our Service and Justice team is holding a UU the Vote carding event. Come join the fun and help us send out cards to remind Texas voters of the importance of voting this fall. Pizza and desserts will be available. If you don't have enough time to stay for the postcards and pizza, stop by Cockrell Hall to mingle over coffee and enjoy light snacks. And finally, we'd like to invite everyone to stay connected, so that's why we offer a weekly newsletter every Tuesday with the latest news and events happening at our church. You can sign up for our email list today using the QR code on the screen, signing the visitor book in the parlor, or by signing up at bauuc.org. Now, for our closing hymn, please stand in body or spirit for the hymn, For the Earth Forever Turning.
Our chalice extinguishing and benediction today is from the Reverend Peggy Clark, who wrote it for all of us to use across the country this morning. Knowing how quickly the flame of truth may be extinguished, how easily the chalice of fellowship broken, let us be vigilant in faith. Keep peace in our hearts, make care for one another the watchword of our lives together, so that our light goes out everywhere into the world. Our light goes out everywhere healing and hope are needed, so let us go in peace to love and serve the world and one another. Blessed be, and amen.